Hey guys, this is MTP Flyers, and yes, you have read that title correctly. I am using a Windows 8 phone, and really what I want to do is kind of get the conversation going. What really makes someone choose a phone that's a normal consumer, normal user, and then of course what makes us weirdo geeks want to basically try everything that comes in under the sun, whether it's a new iPhone, whether it's a new Samsung Android or an HTC Android, Windows, blah blah blah, Palm when it was, BlackBerry, all of that. Well, first and foremost, obviously, you want to be a little bit educated as far as what your basic needs are when you want to pick a phone. Obviously, I think one of the most important things is when you choose a phone, it's got to be on a carrier that where you spend most of your time, you're going to get the best coverage. Now, of course, for myself, in the Philadelphia and surrounding area, Pennsylvania, Jersey, I is where I tend to be most of the time. Verizon is my choice. Now, I did have AT&T, and I was okay with it, but I did feel like I didn't have the coverage that Verizon eventually was able to start offering in our area. T-Mobile, horrible. Would never use that a day in my life. Sprint, I might use Sprint, but still, I feel like Verizon does it for me. Now, in your area, Verizon may suck. It just may not be the way that it is. So, first and foremost, getting that out of the way, just to kind of give you a background on something useful for this video, that I think is the most important thing. So, all that being said, why did I pick this phone as opposed to using the iPhone like I always have and telling you guys it's the greatest thing since sliced bread? Well, the new iPhone is going to be coming out later this year. And really, my wife's contract was up. She didn't want to buy a new phone, and she could really care less about getting the latest and greatest. She used my iPhone 5. She liked it, so she wanted it. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? This is my chance to try something that I've kind of been eyeing a little bit just to see how it works. Now, I've used Android. I had my feelings about that. I just don't feel like it's something that works for myself. Many people love it. There's many things you can do with it. Although I really can't get a solid answer out of anyone what customization it can do that anything else can't do and what it is. But that's a discussion for another video. So I wanted to try out Windows 8. Now, the OS itself, or I should say the system itself, is vastly different from what I originally used to use when I had a smartphone, which was mobile Windows OS. And I can tell you that it's night and day between the two. If you've used it before, you know that this is 90 billion times better. Now, with that being said, I can honestly say using this for a few weeks, this is more basic than iOS. That's tough to say. Or I should say, with Android people out there who'd say that iOS is stale and boring. You want to talk about basic? This is as basic as they come. Windows 8, I will say, is smooth. It's clean. The lines are clean, as far as how you can set your screen up. It's very basic. I would venture to say to the consumer, someone that was looking for an OS that just kind of did what you needed it to do, I think Windows might be up there as far as basic. Someone that can just pick a phone up and go, oh, okay, well, let me see here. Oh, look, Verizon Wireless, it's the phone. Pick the phone up, I can make my phone call. I want to go to the internet. They've got the Windows Explorer picture right there. You can go right to your internet. And, so on and so forth. You have your designs as far as that goes. So with that being said, I think it is a very clean design. It's not, and I really is, this could come back to bite me. It's not as exciting as iOS. And if you want to compare it to Android, Android is like a teenager, younger kid, and how they do things in life. It's just everything all over the place. And this is like an old man. Now, I shouldn't say that this is outdated by any means. I'm just referring to the fact that when you do something, it's there, and pretty much every app that I've used, from something like, say, Twitter, to going back and saying something like your email, You know, everything tends to start looking the exact same no matter what you go into. Now, taking a look at Roa, you see here you have your options of going in, doing your timeline, your mentions, and your messages. So you go in through looking through those, and you can use them, and so on and so forth. In my opinion, I don't think the layout is as good. However, you want to go into, let's say, your email. Notice a theme here? Everything is across the top, and your messages are down at the bottom. So this is what I encountered with most of going through and trying different apps and doing that. That it is a very similar process for the most part when you're going through and you're trying to use different applications to do that. You have a basic setup, you have your stuff across the top, and then you have your information at the bottom. Now, I was real curious to say, oh my god, I got to get out of this. This is driving me crazy. Not all apps look like that, but for the most part, that's the general setup on how they do this for the phone. For someone like an Android user or I don't know someone that wants to get a little more specific, you get to the point where you're like, this needs to stop. I need something different. That's how I'm getting. Now, I don't think I got to the point where when I was with iOS, I was like, oh my god, it's so boring, it's so basic. It just worked. Now, I would be happy with this if it just worked, but it doesn't. Now, with these apps looking the same, I could say that, okay, Mike, well, deal with it. Everything looks the same. It's in the same place. Kind of like what an old man likes. Everything is where it needs to be, and everything looks the same. There's no learning curve. Now, each thing does have its own little nuances that you can change things up on. Obviously, your mail and your Twitter don't operate the same way, so there are different options on there. Now, one of many issues that I'm countering with this is there aren't enough apps. Okay, everybody told me that before, and what I mean by that is things that I've used on iOS, and I come over here, they're not available, or I have to do something else. So that is the one of many. The second thing that is the biggest to me is the fact that the apps don't work that well. They're not clean. They're not continuous. There seems to be lots of issues with them. I've gone through a number of Twitter apps that I've tried on there. Rowie, this is my second go around on Rowie. I wasn't too impressed with it the first time, but after using the other ones, I'm like, okay, this is the best of the worst. And that's what I started feeling with most of these apps. Even when I want to go in and play a game, I feel like the games that are suggested in their store are really bad. Just really basic and, just like, oh my god, this is like playing Nintendo as opposed to playing Xbox. That's kind of how it is. Now, I guess you could say that, everything looking the same is good for an old guy. And old guys like things the way they are. Old people like things the way they are. Older people have a set way of doing things. Well, this is it. However, it is a little laggy. Things happen. It crashes. And I've noticed that more often than I did on iOS. And God say, even Android. So, that is one of the two of the many things that I've encountered. But those two are the biggest that I've noticed on this. Now, obviously, me wanting to try out the OS was a part of it, but I love the way that this phone looks. It's just a really cool design, really cool layout, nothing like I've used in the past. Obviously, there are phones that are like this, but it's just looked really cool. I think what the designs that HTC did with this, and I think Nokia has the similar designs for these for the Windows phones and whatnot. Love the color. Love the way that it looks. The layout of the buttons and everything I thought was great. The power button is a bit cumbersome with a case on it, trying to get that to turn on and off. The volume, I didn't really have much of a problem, although it does go up to 30. It makes you think, wow, it's going to be loud. No. It does have the Beats audio logo on the back. I'm pointing down here. And that only works with headphones, doesn't work on the speakerphone. So if you're going to listen through something through the speaker, you can't set it up with Beats on that. It does not work on the speaker, which kind of is pointless because you want it to sound good when you're talking and listening. Well, I should say listening, but you don't get the same quality. And the speakerphone on this thing is something to be desired. Now, one of the most important things that I feel, and that many feel, that I feel is missed, and that many people feel is important, I'm getting ahead of myself, and I feel isn't covered a lot of the time, is the call quality. The call quality on this was meh. I'll leave it at like a 5 out of 10. Although I didn't lose any phone calls and I didn't have any real complaints, the complaints that I did hear, the complaints that I did hear, where I sound tinny, I sound like I'm in like a little bit of an echo chamber on that. So that's the knock against that. Didn't have that with the iPhone, and that's some of the knocks on it. The camera works pretty cool on this, and that really is just my thoughts on the phone, which is why I wanted to try it out. And it's inexpensive at this point, and I think it's a pretty cool phone, pretty cool design, which is originally what drew me towards it. And that's the reason why I went with this phone, just to try it out. I'm getting to the point where I am severely annoyed enough that I'm like, okay, I'm done, ready for the iPhone to come out. And it's only been a few weeks, 2 weeks, I think, 2.5, 3 weeks, and I'm kind of ready to move on. That's bad. That's real bad. Now, that's from the geek side talking. There are plenty of geeks out there that love the phone, and I've been talking with many guys that have used these or are using Windows OS phones and do enjoy them. I myself, after coming from iOS to this, feel that it is lacking a lot in the department of the OS. Now, the design and everything, I think, is just as good. But, design only takes you so far. If the phone stops working for you or gets you annoyed, if you've gotten to the point where you start grabbing your tablet to do your tweeting and doing your internet searches, what you would normally do here, bringing the tablet with you and using that instead of this, which I've done on occasion, just because I feel like I can't depend on this being correct in everything that I need to do, then I think this has kind of sold itself short in what it could be. And is that the fault of the phone? Is that the fault of the OS? Or is it the carrier? And I don't think it's the carrier because, it's doing everything that it needs to do as far as connecting and whatnot, but it's the system or the phone innards that are, making things go goofy on it sometimes. So, I don't know what to say. One thing that I did miss on this, battery life. Horrible. I'm lucky if I make it till 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a light day using the phone. Sometimes I'll make it till 5 o'clock, but for the most part, I'm killing this phone where I got to charge it in the middle of the day. Now, I've had that happen with the iPhone, but I'm noticing that it's happening more on this than anything. So, it's really tough to say, if I've just got a phone that I bought used, by the way. If that's an issue on that, I don't know. But my experience is that, the phone is no more than a few months old. The battery should be fine, I would think. So, I could say that this is my first look or initial impressions on the phone, but that's just a line to give you guys, to do more videos down the road on it. What I'm going to do is leave it up to you guys to let me know what you want to know about the phone that I may have missed in this video. And that'll determine whether or not I do another video on it. So comment down below what you guys, what else you guys want to know about the phone, the OS, how it's working. Again, if I missed something. So that's it. This is the HTC Windows 8X phone. That's my thoughts on it. Do I need to use it longer? It's pretty basic. I think I pretty much got it down. But we're going to use it longer. I'm going to see what you guys think. And if there's anything I missed, you say, hey, Mike, can you go this? Can you do this? Can you try this? And let me know down below. I've done enough talking, and you guys take it easy. Got lots of cool stuff coming up. Like I say in every video, and I hope this is one of those cool things in the previous video that you got in this video. And stick around. Got a lot more coming up. You guys take it easy and have a good day. I'll talk to you later. See ya!